come on, that's home turf for you. I'm not coming there. Yes, I think you can try.
3.
That is right. Can we have a big round of applause for Ankit? Okay, perfect. Now, so that's west. Now, Shankar. Any lucky number?
27.
27. Can we have a raise of hands, please? Okay. This should be easy for you. I mean, our growth percentage target for B2C and B2B in India next year. What are we targeting? Yeah, I mean, come on, that was easy, Hemal. Thank you. That's right. That's 20%. And then maybe, probably, Sujeda, you can do this. This is the last one which I have. So, any lucky number?
Do you want a single digit or the table 4 can be one of the things, or we can go to table 16? Table 16.
Table 16.
Yeah, here they are.
Where are they?
Yeah. All excited, raising
Okay, so this is B2C specific. Okay. Our growth plan or target for B2C in 2025 in KB.
192 kb. 192 kb.
192 KB, that is right. Ankush, one of them said 200. We would be happy with that too, right?
And do they remember about the magic number that Ankush told? Some kb of CV, some kb of PV. Exactly.
448. So I think that brings us to this Q&A, which was related to our strategic priorities and other things. But we also have a quiz on Slido related to brand, isn't it, Ishani?
Yes. So we have a Slido quiz on brand. So let's see how much we know about our legacy, about the milestones that we have achieved. You have the QR code which you can scan and register for the Slido. And this is a brand quiz. And remember what Dean said yesterday? We are the brand. So let's get started. What is your lucky number, Sumant, at the count of which you want us to start the Slido?
I think we go with the B2C target. The moment we see 192 registrations, that's when we begin the quiz.
Okay, so let's help Sumant achieve it. Let's quickly register to the Slido. 192 is the number we are looking for. $107 it is.
The pace is slowing down. More registrations. We have more than 200 people.
192 is the number we are looking for to get started.
There's also a prize to be won at the end of this, so I'm sure you'll be eager to get that.
$152, 40 more to go.
I think in the interest of time, yeah, 155 is the number. I'm sure there'll be more who'll be joining the quiz. So, can we have the first question on screen?
Oh, at the right time. So we have a question on Mobile Delvac 100th anniversary. Quick, quick, quick. This shouldn't take much time.
This should be easy. Delvec has been the talk of the town.
Sumant, what do you think is the answer?
I know it.
Okay, 77% of the people have given the correct answer. But we have some who think we do it to match the color of Mobile Delvac products. Okay.
Okay, Ravi,
Wow.
you're leading. Can we have the next question?
The oil that saves you gas. 1974. Not all answers are related to Mobile Delvac. Okay, the leaderboard is changing. We have Arshkeet leading the leaderboard.
Next question.
Okay, the leaderboard is changing. A difficult one. Let's see how many gets it correct. Not always the answer is all of the above, at least not in this case. ILOBP, we talked about it yesterday. What is the design capacity of our India Lube oil blending plant? At least this everyone should get correct. Have you all seen the Mobile 150th anniversary video? Have you? We'll find it out through this answer, by the way. Oh my God.
That's a total revamp of the leaderboard. Okay.
our real brand enthusiast are. Sakshi leading the board. Anusha, I expected you there. This one everyone should get right. What does it symbolize, by the way? Well, maybe keen to do the other one. I knew they'll do the red flying horse. That was the purpose of keeping it there. So the leaderboard has changed.
Okay, this is the last lap.
Last question that we have.
The right question there.
Very easy one. Most of the times the answer is all of them. Okay, so we have our winner. What is there? Okay, we have one more question. We have one more question. The last one to decide the winner.
Hope we don't have a tie.
Okay, so we have Sakshi back again leading the leaderboard. Sakshi, wherever you are, can you please stand?
Sakshi, where are you? Okay, you're there.
Can we give a big round of applause for Sakshi? Can we have Gautam also standing up? He is our first runner-up. Gautam, can you please stand wherever you are?
Because you got it right, so we have something for you too. Gautam, where are you? Okay, there. Can we have a big round of applause for Sakshi and Gautam?
Okay. How was it? How did you like the quiz and the games? Did you enjoy it? Okay, so now we'll get started. What we have in store today, Sumant?
I think we start with a video to celebrate 100 years of mobile Delvac. So can we have the video, please?
100 years on the road. You don't get here by standing still. You keep things moving. Through the wind and the rain, in extreme heat and freezing cold. Though the road is long and the going is tough, you know that hard work has its rewards. That's why, when you need to get going, you turn to a brand with 100 years of experience and expertise. A brand trusted by master mechanics and industry associations around the world. Mobile Delvac. For longer engine life, for less downtime, for new ways to help advance your business ambitions. For a century, your success has been our success. Every moment of every mile. With bold innovation and true determination, for 100 years, we've given 100% so that you can too.
Thank you. Wonderful video, wasn't it? And I think with that, today we start getting into our discussion points and agenda for the day. And we'll start with marketing excellence, for which I'd like to invite Charlene on stage.
Good morning. Gosh, those were hard questions. And some of our youngest employees were the winners, so that puts me a little bit to shame. The marketing manager, and of course Dave was there too, so we'll have to credit Dave as well. So I'm going to talk about marketing excellence, winning with the brand. Let me ask you a couple of questions. We had a great year in brand equity. Is number 3 enough? Is 4% growth enough? We have to do a lot more. I think Ankush said it really well. What we're asking ourselves is to be performing at the highest levels, each and every one of us, and that includes marketers. And so the marketing team came together as a leadership team in June and said, what do we need to do to change? How are we going to win? If we're going to be sitting in that driver's seat, leading all of you to figure out where we play, how we win, we better up our game. And so we got together and came up with a few key things. One, making sure that we're clear on our purpose and our mission as a marketing team. What are we trying to accomplish? 2, how are we going to deliver that? And I'll talk a little bit about mindset, about legacy brands, and how it can be challenging to be relevant after 100 years. Clearly we've done it, right? We've got 100 years of testament. How do we go another 100? So I'll start with the marketing charter. And we wanted to make sure that we had some guiding principles to say, what is our role exactly? Are we there to create nice posters? Are we really there to drive the brand and win with the brand? And we chose these words very deliberately. Creating superior value for our customers, turning insights, and I talked about the segmentation and all of the personas yesterday, into differentiated strategies, and orchestrating that execution with all of you to maximize returns. What's our mission? To be leading, performing at the highest levels, agile, and I'll talk about agility a little bit later, collaborating seamlessly across the functions, acting boldly. I want you to remember these words, act boldly. And it's necessary for us to make sure that we keep the brand at the top level and make sure we get to number 1. That's a lot of words, right? And it's hard. But I'll simplify it this way. Marketing's job as a brand, ultimately, is to make the complex simple and the simple exciting. Why? Customers have finite resources and infinite choices. You've got so many brands to choose from, so many ways to spend your time, so many things you could spend your hard-earned money on. We need to make it simple for them to choose us over and over and over again. That's our job, right? So remember, make the complex simple and the simple exciting. But how do you do that as an established brand? 100 years with Mobile Dalvac, 50 years with Mobile One. Are we the only ones in this situation? No. Many brands have done it. I've listed a couple here. I won't talk all about them, but I won't talk about each one of them, but a couple of brands here, global brands as well as local brands. Kit Kat, established in the 1930s. In the 50s, they came up with have a break, have a, and they consistently use that tagline till today. But they always made sure that they were fresh, they were relevant, they connected emotionally, they adjusted to the flavors, the profiles, the international markets that they went in, but kept the same principle consistent. I love Fevicol. I keep hearing about it when I talk to other marketers in India, and they say Fevicol, which is an adhesive brand, is the ultimate bond, right? The two elephants stuck together and can't be pulled apart. The ultimate bond that never breaks. And the great thing about this brand is that they keep updating that same message, the ultimate bond that ties families together, that brings people through the history. I love all of their ads, and they make sure that they keep driving the same message. We're reliable, we're innovative, we don't break. Even Tata Motors, they've had to reinvent themselves over time. They didn't have the biggest market share to start with, and the last couple of years they've shot up into a number 3 brand. And so why I'm talking about this is because sometimes we get a lot of feedback as marketers to say, hey marketers, you got to be a little bit different, right? You've got to change up your campaigns, do this, do that. But should we be freshly consistent or consistently fresh? That's the argument. And I say, be freshly consistent. Be consistent with your brand purpose, what you stand for, but be fresh in adapting how you deploy to the market. It's a different age of media, different technology, different cultures. You need to deploy differently. But at the heart, the brand needs to stay the same. The same propositions, the same promise, right? So freshly consistent is what we're driving. And we've got great assets. We saw one earlier. We've learned a lot about the brand that we didn't know maybe before today. But we've got great assets across our portfolio. I talked about commercial for experts by experts. You saw the EB relationships that we built. Mobile One keeps your engine running like new. That's our claim. That's the space we own. And it's still relevant today. Whether you're driving 20 years or you're driving for 5 years and you want to sell that car after 5 years at the highest possible value, and that's the first car that you bought, your hard-earned money that you paid for the most important, next most expensive after your home. You want to keep it running like new. So remember, we've got great assets. We don't have to reinvent the wheel, but we need to deploy consistently. So how will we deliver? And I've shared this back in September. If some of you would join the employee forum, and we had the global marketing team together, and we said we've got 3 pillars. The first is adopting a challenger brand mindset, making sure that we're really sharp with marketing execution excellence and building capabilities. How do we elevate our people to be a world-class marketing organization and ultimately drive results? What we're looking for is outcomes, not how many posters we've done, how many trade exhibitions we've done. We want outcomes. We want to see that brand number go up. We want to see that market share go up. That's ultimately what we're after. So what is Challenger Brand? We spent a lot of time as a marketing organization on Tuesday talking about Challenger Brand. Ultimately, it's think like a number 2. Lucky for us, we're not quite even a number 2 yet in many of the markets, but it is a mental model. It says, if you have high ambitions to grow, but you don't have all the marketing dollars to spend, right? Big budgets, you need to think and act boldly because you have to close that gap. And so a challenger brand may not be the market leader. Some market leaders do think like number 2, even though they're number 1. They're visionary, they have high ambitions. They have to engage and make sure they break through the clutter. Plenty of choices, remember, infinite choices, finite resources, and have a growth mindset. And how they act is being innovative, purpose-led. You can't do everything for the sake of doing it because it's different. You're being different because you're purposeful in driving your strategic actions. Back to the strategic priorities and choices that we talked about yesterday. Look for high impact, execute smartly, because you have limited resources. Leverage scale, leverage efficiency, and be bold. And I've asked the marketers and the extended marketing team with revenue management and product management towers in CEO, we need to think like a challenger brand. And I've already seen it. I've seen it happen with many of the things that we're executing, including some of the work you'll see coming out of India with the latest campaigns. We've pushed ourselves to say, is this challenger thinking? Yes, it's going to take time, but we have to start with that in mind. Now, execution enablers. We look through all of the things that enable excellence in execution. And I won't go through all of them, but I'll emphasize two. First is making sure that anything that we do is aligned with the strategic objectives. Why are we doing it? Are we clear? Is it, a short-term, long-term impact? Where is this going? And the second piece is agility. I know we hear the complaints. We hear the feedback that, hey, you guys are not fast enough. And I agree. We need to be quicker, but agility where it matters. It assumes you know what to do first. You're not trying to race out there and make a change without understanding what is it that is going to create the impact. So back to step number one, right? And finally, making sure that we measure and optimize consistently. We've got lots of data. We will have more data with digital enablement, and that relies on all of you to drive that so that we can gain more insights. How are we doing? Is the marketing offers that we're creating really driving impact? We rely on that data from all of you. I'll talk about focus areas. So we said, okay, we get challenger brand mindset. We get that we have to be excellent in execution. Where do I start? Right? That's always a hard question. And I would say that really took a toll on the marketing leadership team because they had to really spend a good day and a half thinking about what to focus on. And we picked 6. And so I'm just going to highlight the 6 that we came up with. The first is, how many of you are on our Instagram, Facebook, Mobile India? Have you seen any difference in the way we're executing? Ram has seen a difference because he's posting. So the intent here is that we want to tell stories, authentic stories about our brand, what we do, who we enable. And you've seen an example here with a great looking team by the India Racing League F4 car. We're trying to use content that is genuine, right? Behind drivers that are talking about using Mobile One and what it's like. And you'll see that our social media execution will continue to change to be much more authentic, to break through the clutter, as opposed to some of the static assets that we've used in the past. We will continue to create brand stories and product stories for all of you. And when I say all of you, I mean not just sales. I love the conversation I had with operations and supply chain yesterday, asking, how do I become a brand ambassador? We need to provide you great assets and stories that you can understand what our brand stands for and how do you communicate externally. Product innovation, here the word or operative word is proactive. We need to anticipate market needs. What is happening with hybrids? What is happening with flat viscosity oils? Guadli and her team are working extremely closely with MTech to say, what are the claims that we need? Why should people believe us? Are we overcomplicating with all of the different technological languages and jargon, or can we make it really, really simple? And how do we make sure that if we want to be the synthetic leader, whether it's B2C or B2B, that we are creating products that are anticipating the future? The third one is winning through channels, and channels here I mean channels, retailers, influencers, mechanics, and you can see work that we're doing today. There's a piece of work called the India Retail Study that has all of these tracks, thinking about how do I communicate why you should stock mobile with the channel and trade, right? And these are some of the elements that we're thinking about. It is not the individual elements alone that matter, it's how we package it. So I don't have to be the best at every one of these 9 things, but how you package it together that then differentiates us versus competition. The last 2 I'll talk about is marketing-led revenue management. So Abhinav said yesterday, we get a lot more value from premium users and from our brand, and we've got great data to show how we're pricing. We need to do a lot more of that and adopting the right tools and the right methodologies to enable us to use these capabilities to extract as much value as we can from the brand. And on data to insights, I think you've heard data to insights many, many times. We have a huge piece of work right now looking at the number of outlets available in the markets that we operate in that we are not tapping on today. So where are the white spaces that we need to go after, down to every single outlet, where they're located, how many they are, and using that insight to identify how we deploy our resources. And then many, many more linked to that. We will start to link our marketing metrics and brand metrics to outcomes. How is it driving our market share? We know exactly what our market share is in the key cities, how much we're selling of synthetics, how much we're selling of a 3.5 liter versus a 50 liter. We have all of that data. And then the lastly is profit orientation. So the marketers went through a 101, and I would say a little bit more than a 101 on financial and value chain, right? Understanding all the layers of profit and loss. What are we eventually making after we're spending all of that money through marketing? How are we getting back that investment? So next steps, you'll see us refining our brand stories and our campaigns, sharpening our end user understanding to target premium users. We'll be strengthening processes. You saw business teams as an example. We'll continue to see the layers below business teams as well, how we're taking in all of the feedback. I know there's a lot of feedback through WhatsApp, right, being shared. You must be asking, where did that go? I shared a lot of information. What did the marketers do with that? And we hear you. We know we have to strengthen our processes to make sure that we're digesting the information and understanding what to act on. Leading with data and digital, I need not plug in Mobile Connect, but I will. Mobile Connect, it's an extremely important initiative. I know all of you are bought in. It's going to take time. It's before its time, right? Some users are not ready for it, but you don't introduce something just when people are ready for it. You introduce it before, right? So we have to be leading in the market in that space. And lastly, I'm going to talk about next is, prioritize capability development. I think this is extremely important. As marketers, we need to develop marketing professional paths and ensure that we're deepening our marketing competencies. There are half of our marketers today that either this is their first marketing assignment or they've done marketing for less than 5 years. It takes a lot of time to deepen marketing skills. The great news is that we've got good strengths. We've actually done a survey against 5,000 other companies, and we rated really well above industry on product management, brand management. Places that we need to work on are strategy, execution, so translation of strategy to execution, digital, customer experience, many opportunities that we work on. And the marketers know that we are going to continue with the learning journey on that space. Okay. So that, in summary, is what we're going to go out and do as the marketing team. A lot of work. It's going to be a journey, and we really appreciate your support. Help us make sure that we're truly impactful, getting the insights, and being the best, highest performing marketing team. Thank you.
Thank you, Charlene. And up next, we have sales excellence, and I would like to invite Dipankar on stage to talk about it.
Hello. Good morning. As they say in Indonesia, pagi pagi. Say pagi. Aage aage marketing. Piche piche. Always, right? Marketing will show the way. So, quiz is over. I feel very humbled. I need to meet Shakshi. Read the same books you're reading, watch the same videos you're watching. But there's one part of the quiz which I was hoping would come up somewhere. So yesterday Dean spoke about, he said Google, but it's not Google, it's actually Copilot, where he deconstructed a Formula One car. Remember that? Remember that visual? Deconstructed Formula One car? कौन चला रहा है? Marketing, lead. Marketing in the steering, right? So there's something big behind. What is that? Engine. Who does engine represent? Right, sales, right? So now if marketing is striving for excellence, the telemetric team, P&D team is also trying for excellence. Can sales be behind? Right? So sales also have to do something about excellence, right? No, we can deliver the 500 kb, that's okay, but we also have to do something about the 500 kb being delivered in a particular way. Correct? So that's what we're going to talk about, sales excellence. So sales guys, wake up, wake up. All right, so the case for action, apart from the fact that we are the engines of that Formula One car, there's also another very big reality check case for action, which I think, you've heard many times from Dave. We have not been growing branded volumes or volumes for a long time. We have done great things, big numbers, $1.67 billion of earnings, all fantastic. But somewhere along the line, we have not been growing sales. We need to correct that. And sales excellence is all about making sure that we set ourselves to succeed in that. You can see the India numbers. We pulled out the India numbers. Perhaps it's a little bit better than the overall picture because we have been on a growth model for a little while. But if you see the last 3 years, almost flat. Actually, little lower than flat. Similarly for the MBU, if you see the numbers, quite flat. And this is only from 2019. Actually, if you pull it back further down to 2000, it's quite revealing. So somewhere along the line, along the period, sales has lost a little bit of what it should have as to be an excellent part of the organization, right? So 2 areas have been identified. If you see, one of the biggest impact which happens in a sales organization happens from the first level supervisor. This is true across markets, it's across businesses. The first line supervisors always play and have the most impact on the success of a sales organization. And maybe over the years we have not done enough for this. So that will be one of the areas which we will be working on to become an excellent engine, right? The other area which certainly something which, very big passion for Dave, and ever since Dave has come in, he's been talking about it and bringing it right up front, is the concept of sales pipeline management. We use L360, we call about it, but conceptually, it is the idea that there is a lot of opportunities in the market and sales has to find those opportunities, identify them, use all the excellence which is coming to you from marketing in terms of enabling you, from other support functions in terms of helping you win, to convert those opportunities into win. There are many tools in the world. We have logged on to L360 as we call it. And it's an old tool. Many of you who have been in sales forever, there are many of us who have been in sales for a long time, have been working with L360. But personally, from my experience and experiences of all the sales managers who around the world with whom we all interact quite frequently, it's only in the last, I would say, less than a year that there has been a step up, breakout change in the way we are doing this. We really need to buckle down on that one. So these will be two areas which we will focus on. So priority for 2015, and actually I would say for the next 2 years, actually if you see the way the model is, it goes for up to 2 years. We will work on the sales supervisors, the first line supervisors. There are many levels in our organization, but we are zooming in on the first line supervisor. We will be working on the sales pipeline. We have had a fantastic start. Many of you will see some data points for that, and at least the sales people are certainly aware of it. Maybe I'm communicating to the rest of the world in our organization that we are focusing on sales pipeline, but surely the sales team are aware of it. There is one other area which we will be focusing on in the next couple of years, FES excellence. That's a specific part of our organization, a very big influence in our success. We will be focusing on that. You will hear from Manu on FES excellence maybe after the break after this. Okay? So what are we working on in sales excellence? Sales supervisor excellence, the first part of those two areas which we are focusing on. Around last year, about mid last year, all the sales managers who have many years, between all the sales managers, their hundreds of years of sales experience, came together and put together a model which was based on inculcating certain very fundamental behaviors within the sales supervisors. These were built on a framework which is not new. Sales guys are very simple people. All the sales managers have a very simple concept. Keep it simple, keep it simple, keep it within where it is. That's how, because it has to transmit with a very large organization. So we always stay within models which are already there. It makes it easier. So this is from which model? Anybody recognize this model? It's the same VR ExxonMobil model. From within the VR ExxonMobil model, which has done very well in terms of establishing itself across the organization, we picked on 5 expectations. Very simple ones. It sounds simple, it is also simple, but it's not simple to do. Set clear expectations. That will be one of the areas where sales supervisors have to get better at. Pipeline, we spoke about that, driving sales pipeline. Sales is all about driving the sales pipeline. Coaching the sales force. As you will see later on, as we talk about the pipeline, the one area where we stand to gain